Yes.
Yes.
Hello, folks.
Everybody.
Hello, folks. Tonight we're looking at Budweiser, and we have a huge crew.
Budweiser, King of Beers.
Yeah, we have a huge crew. We've got Paul from Texas, myself from Louisiana, Brandon from Mississippi, Charles and John from Indiana, Jonathan from Virginia, Jeff from Mississippi. Sorry about that. Eric from Massachusetts, and Nate from Massachusetts. So we're going to look at Budweiser.
King of Beers.
I'm sure nobody had trouble getting Budweiser tonight. But,
No.
let's move.
Jay, I only found it in one store. It freaked me out. I think they're going to discontinue Budweiser.
Yeah,
No.
could be.
Never.
Because they're only selling.
It's a terribly nasty beer, I know. Nobody drinks it.
All right.
He hates it.
Yeah. Who's saying that? Who's saying that?
John is saying that as a joke.
Okay, bro.
Yeah. It's the same kind of sarcasm. Some girls don't understand that.
Beer is not about joking. It's not about having fun. Anyway, you know, with Budweiser, you get a pretty thick head, to say the least. Look at Paul. Whoa, Paul.
I got a thick head too. Mine's going fast.
Mine's still good.
Mine's good, man. That's really good. Very foamy, very nice, rich, white, foamy head. Very
I don't think we have to say too much about Budweiser, right? It's like it was introduced in 1876. They've used the same ingredients basically, with some adjustments, but the same ingredients: water, barley malt, rice as the filler, and yeast. Now there was some adjustments made after Carlos Brito became the ruler, I guess you'd say, of Budweiser in 2008, because you know the Busch family lost control of Anheuser-Busch mostly due to their their incompetence. So Carlos Brito found out that they were wasting so much money. I mean, they were just, me and Paul talked about this a lot. They were doing so many ridiculous things, like they had to use polished rice, and it had to be like a whole kernel. And Carlos Brito got together with the beer scientist, and he asked him, he said, does it matter if the kernel is cracked or if it's a whole kernel? Does that affect the taste in any way? And he did an analysis, and they said, no, not in any way. So he said, why are we paying? They were paying like 3 times the amount for a whole kernel of rice. That's just one example of the kind of like self-destructive things they were doing. And they were heading down the road to turning into another Schlitz. And John, you know that story.
Mm-hmm.
I have no head left. It is absolutely.
Yeah, it's gone.
He corrected a lot of the internal problems over there with that company, and they seem to have been making quite a bounce back. Yeah, they had died out in mine. You know, typical American style lager, wouldn't you say?
I'm going strong with the head.
Good looking beer still.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree.
White golden color.
How you like my Budweiser glass?
It's pretty good.
I think I paid a quarter for this at a garage sale. No joke, like 25 cents. It's in perfect condition. It's about 40 or 50 years old.
I bet you were tickled to death.
Oh, it surely was.
Pink.
It's definitely got
Can we see it again, Jay?
Huh?
Show it to me again. Let me see it again. All I can see is the top of it. What's the shape?
like a Pilsner glass almost.
Yeah.
There's the plane. We heard it.
Yeah, it's it must be spraying for bugs. What do you know about the
stereotypical beer aroma?
Yeah, I was about to say, what do you know about the aroma?
It's definitely got some big sweetness in it. I guess what I'm smelling is the rice there, and it's got a nice, clean water smell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we do this video, I mean, when this video gets published, it may not show everybody's face when they're speaking. I don't know. I think they're having some Google Plus problems. I don't know. Sometimes it'll get jammed up. Maria and myself did a video last month, and it was jumping back and forth the whole time, like bing, 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 bing.
Right.
She got so upset about it. I said, well, who cares? You know, we're just talking, and she said, no, she didn't want it to do that, so she deleted it. But what did you say? What did you say again, Eric?
I noticed a big sweetness. I noticed that it's got a nice clean water scent. You can smell the corn. It's got a wet, cardboardy, grainy smell, and there actually may be a very faint, very light sourness.
All right. Any other contributions? Just speak up. Don't hold your peace.
Smells like beer.
Serious game stuff. All right. What?
Smells like beer.
Smells like beer.
It has that. If you had to think Anheuser-Busch, this is the prom. It has that, you know that Anheuser-Busch smell and taste? That's what it has. I can't put my finger on if that's the yeast or the hops, but that's what it's like to me.
It's got to be the yeast, because I think Anheuser-Busch definitely has a house style.
I mean, I've seen how this beer was made, and they use hop pellets. It's like they use 4 different types of hops or 3 different types of hops. I mean, there's hops in it, but I don't know if it's the hops I smell or the yeast. They use a very specific strain of yeast that's only found in Budweiser.
Correct.
Yeast.
They've been, I know a lot of people that say Budweiser gives. I know a lot of people that like it, but they say it gives them a terrible headache and it gives them a really nasty hangover. And I think it has to be the yeast. And I know other people that drink Budweiser makes them sick to their stomach. It doesn't affect me negatively, but don't you think it could be them having a bad reaction?
I think so.
They said something about it at the brewery. Some people are sensitive to the yeast they use.
Yeah, it's Budweiser is it's like all the other American beers. You know, they're so similar to each other. If you're drinking, we could line them up. You know, me and John been doing this for a year now, and you at first gulp you'd say, oh, it's all the same. But I think when you dial it down onto Budweiser, it has a distinctive flavor to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the rice, but my mom used to cook rice with butter on it for us sometimes for supper. It's something distinctive about it. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think that maybe it has a unique sort of a type quality to it, but it definitely has an unmistakable. Budweiser, I find, is an unmistakable sort of a grainy plus sweetness sort of a flavor. Those are the predominant flavors that I get. It's definitely a lot sweeter than a lot of other American-style lagers that I've tasted in the past.
Think I should do a taste challenge?
That'd be a great idea.
Be cool.
'Cause I don't think I've ever done a taste challenge with Budweiser and try to tell it against other American-style beers. I did other taste challenges, and I couldn't get it right.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, Eric. Earlier when I was barbecuing, I was drinking Coors Original.
Yeah.
And I will say Coors Original is sweeter than Budweiser.
Really?
Just based on what I had before I started this jumped in this hangout. So, I mean, it's not as sweet as, say, a Coors, but it's also it's very easy drinking. It very clean, doesn't have a strong aftertaste.
Very
It's just
dry
really,
aftertaste.
very dry, just so easy, just pound these beers. You can really, it's easy to get in trouble with sort of beer like this because it's just so easy to pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Budweiser was developed, for poundability. I mean, really, if you read their literature that I have in their website, it pretty much says that it's made just for major drinking sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, when you drink it fresh out of the tap at the brewery,
Oh, God.
on draft, oh yeah, it's so much better than what you get out of the bottle and the can because it's unpasteurized. It's hard to compare the two. Mm-hmm. But of course, there's no other choice. They got to pasteurize it. They don't want it to rot.
Good luck finding it on tap at most places. All they have is Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light, and then Samuel Adams and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me that. Well, Bud Light is similar. It's similar. It's just a lighter version because they use almost the same ingredients.
Exactly.
Bud Light uses different hop varieties. I know it's not like you can taste them, but they do use different hops. I asked that question because I asked is Bud Light just a watered-down Budweiser? And she said, no. Every single hop that goes into Bud Light is different than Budweiser.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is Beechwood. It doesn't affect the flavor.
No, it just adds natural carbonation. Another thing about Budweiser is Croissant. It's double fermented. 5% alcohol, 145 calories. Pretty typical for American beer. What do you think, Charles? Charles is being quiet over there. He doesn't say much. He doesn't eat much.
That goes back to what Eric said earlier. I mean, it's the same nose feel that Eric said. It's good carbonation. Got tiny bubbles, man. It's good, clean, and crisp. It's just to me, I think it's your staple American beer right here.
Yeah.
This is a beer right here.
So you would say it pretty much exemplifies American-style lager?
Oh, yeah.
Although that's a style that some people don't like, and we can accept that, of course. John, Sharon, you've been listening. What do you got to say, John? John?
It looks like John is talking, but we can't hear him.
His lips are moving, but I don't hear him. I don't hear him.
Jono, your technology is failing. All right.
He's not very technical.
Yeah, if you want to get techno. Okay, he's probably going to fade out and have to come back. He runs into those issues sometimes. What about you, Nate?
I gotta tell you, it's not wouldn't be my go-to, but I can see definitely what the others are saying about it. I mean, it's so light, and I mean, it's only 5% alcohol, and I tell you, it's deceiving. I wouldn't like just drinking it. It doesn't feel like it's 5%. It feels like it's something a lot lower than that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as far as being able to drink like a ton of these at one time, I think it'd be very easy to do.
But if a person was at a bar and they drink 2-quart bottles of this, they might have a problem driving home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And it's so cheap to buy it. That's why a lot of kids in college are buying few racks of the stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. What about Paul? Sure, some politician calling me.
I really like it. I've kind of, as you know, Jay, I've sort of been around the block on beers. Like, I started off sort of regular beers, and then I went through the whole phase of trying all the different stuff, and liked them all a lot. And recently, in the last year or so, I went back to kind of the tried and true like this, and I mean, I love it. I'll say, just so you know, I was kind of looking at their website.
Hello.
The yeast is actually the same yeast that Adolphus Busch brought over when he first started making beer in the U.S.
So that's an accomplishment.
Directly descended from it. I mean, that's how yeast works.
Now, Paul, I remember back around 1997, 98, 99, when you first moved to Texas, you used to say that, and this was before you got deep into the beer culture, so to speak. You said that
subculture, if you will.
Yeah, subculture. Correct. Thank you for correcting me. You said that you started saying you liked Budweiser the best. Remember, you used to say that. But now you've gone.
That's weird. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. It's just I just like it. I don't know if I have any reason why. I just like it. There's my 2-year-old trying to get in the room right now.
Now, you know, every day at 3 o'clock, it might only be on work days, it may not be on the weekend, but every day at 3 o'clock, they fly in from the 12 breweries, a batch of Budweiser from each of the 12 breweries, and they sit down and they taste them. And they check to see if there's any imperfections in it, and it better taste like it's supposed to, or heads will roll. What do you think about that idea that they taste Budweiser every day at 3 o'clock, and they've been doing that for like forever?
I think
obsession with quality control. I mean,
yeah, I think part of the reason.
Anybody else do anything similar to that?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think part of the reasoning for doing that, we might have mentioned this in the past as well when we reviewed some of these legacy type beers, is these companies, especially this Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, and Bud Light, they brew so much of that beer and they sell so much of that beer and they make so much money off of that beer, they better make sure that the beer is as consistent as possible, because if all of a sudden this Budweiser beer and say Bud Light started changing flavors, people would get angry, they'd be up in arms, and this company would be losing money.
And because it's available just about anywhere too in the United States, and I actually, when I was over in London, it was available in London as well. So it's a lot of people that would be upset about the inconsistency.
And the bigger the company, the harder they fall.
Yep.
And that's what happened to Schlitz. Schlitz was number two in the country 38 years ago, but they had quality control problems, and they tried to cut corners, you see. They used to be very good at quality control, but they decided they were going to cut corners, and they cut their own throats is what they did. And they went from the number 2 beer in the country to, they're not even, they're barely on the shelf now. They're barely in business. So that's a good sort of like cautionary tale.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Now, Jay, that's a beer that's really starting to kind of come around here a lot more than what it was back years ago.
What, Schlitz?
Schlitz, yeah.
Yeah,
The regular Schlitz, like in the red label?
Yeah, it's got that burgundy label.
Yeah, we did that beer a couple months ago.
I like Schlitz. I like that beer.
Yeah, we need to look at Schlitz malt liquor, to tell you the truth. But
Yeah. Speaking of which, it'd be easier for me to get Schlitz malt liquor when I go visit you to get my Pumpkinator.
yeah, there's a place in Kenner. Yeah, I got the Pumpkinator in the cabinet. There's a place in Kenner, Louisiana, a gas station called Racetrack, and they've got Schlitz 18-ounce brown bottles for 99 cents a bottle. So you can pick up, you can get the whole 6-pack for $5.90 something. So that's not bad for 18-ounce bottles now.
Not bad.
I made a mistake one time. I'll tell you a funny story real fast. I made a mistake. Back in 2009, I was actually so-called working for Schlitz because they had a program where if you drank Schlitz beer in public, they would send you as much Schlitz beer as you wanted to drink for free. So,
Wow.
No joke. So I signed up for the program. The guy called me on the phone. He sent me a Visa card. Of course, you had to use it for Schlitz. And I went and bought a bunch of cases, right? And what I had to do was go drink it at a sporting event, take pictures of me drinking it with my friends, and then I had to send the photos to Schlitz.
So they could post it on their thing and say, look at this guy, he's drinking Schlitz.
Yeah, and then they posted the photos on their website, and they just kept sending me cases of it. We drank Schlitz the whole year in 2009 for the football season at Tulane University football games, and it was great. And we had people walking by, and they were like, "You got more of that Schlitz?" And they were all drinking it. And then I was in a restaurant.
That way, and advertising.
Yeah, and I was in a restaurant in my hometown, and one guy came in the restaurant. And he started looking at me funny, and I said, "Oh, what's up?" He said, "Aren't you the Schlitz guy?"
Yay, the Schlitz guy. Cheers.
Yeah, I thought I was the company. And so then, but the funny part of the story is one time I wanted to be cute, so I bought a 40-ounce brown bottle of Schlitz malt liquor, and I put it in the ice chest, and we popped my car trunk open, and we were getting ready to set up the display, and I pulled out that big bottle, and somebody said, "Damn!" So I said, "Well, don't worry about it." So I was drinking the Schlitz malt liquor while I was handing out the Schlitz, and I drank the whole bottle, and I went to the football game later, and I was like, I couldn't focus my eyes, and I called my daddy on the cell phone, and I was like, "Hey, we at the game, man!" He never lets me live that story down. He was like, "Yeah." He got a kick out of that. But anyway, that stuff stayed with me till the fourth quarter, man. I was just like, "Whoa, boy." But anyway, to close out Budweiser, my final thought is I don't have a problem with it, and these craft beer, and I'm not talking about craft beer people because I am one of these craft beer people anyway. But they're always talking about Budweiser doesn't matter. No one cares about Budweiser. Screw Budweiser. But I always tell them, if it doesn't matter, why do you incessantly and endlessly talk about it?
Exactly.
It's like a crucifix to a vampire. If you hold up a glass of Budweiser to the craft beer people, they say, It doesn't matter. No one cares. Anyway, everybody can just say what they want, and I'll shut up.
My opinion, it's a middle of the road beer for me. I definitely would give it no less than between a C and a C plus. It's a pretty good beer. It doesn't. I don't really think it offends. It's not an offensive flavor. I noticed that the bros on Beer Advocate gave it an 80. So they gave it an 80. This must be one of the higher end malt liquors, one of the higher end adjunct lagers, and I would definitely agree with that. But to me, it's just the average American lager. Go out and try it if you haven't.
Good thoughts. Next.
Well, I have some thoughts on this beer. Somebody who's drink a lot of Coors, and drink a lot of Miller, drink a lot of Bud Light and Schlitz and stuff like that. I mean, there's a reason why this got labeled King of Beers. And as far as American-style adjunct lagers, it is one of the best out there. It's easy to pound, it's easy to drink. You're not going to go wrong with it. So if you're looking for an American-style lager, really, it's tough to beat this beer. A lot of times it comes out of taste preference, but it's one of those things where if you're just going to a fish fry or going to a party, you can load up an ice chest Budweiser, or if you're going fishing, load up an ice chest. Put it this way, you really can't go wrong. As far as American-style adjunct lagers, personally, style, I mean, it definitely gets good marks. Personally, because like I said, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. So I got to say, it's a solid brew. You just cannot go wrong with it. So that's just my opinion.
Amen.
You're right. Amen. I agree. Charles or anybody else?
You go and you drink this beer anywhere in the U.S., just like they're talking about earlier, how they tested in the same facility coming from all their breweries. The consistency. The way they manufacture this beer, it absolutely blows my mind how they do it. You could homebrew a beer 10 times, the same recipe, and it could taste 5 different ways. They've got the quality and consistency thing down. Now, yeah, it's a plain Jane American lager. A lot of lagers are pretty plain Jane, too. Just because it's American doesn't make it terrible.
America.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I think Chuck hit it right. I think this is probably one of the most consistent beers made right now in the United States, if not the most consistent beer made in the United States. I don't like using the term adjunct lager because this is the king of American lagers right here, and this is a fantastic beer. I think it's a phenomenal beer, and the people that knock it don't stereotype this beer, but because I guarantee you in the shadows, those people are drinking the same thing right here that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Shadows.
Hey, I will say within the style, I will say that it is distinctive. It has that distinctive Budweiser flavor. Also, it is a legacy beer. I respect it. For beer overall, I say it's 85 to B. It's not light as like a Busch Light, but it does have a little body. But as far as quality, you cannot beat this. This is number one as far as quality in the world. So that's my opinion on this.
All right. Excellent. Anybody else?
For me, there's absolutely nothing offensive about the taste. And I don't remember. I don't know if Bud Light uses this same slogan anymore, but there's Bud Light slogan used to be superior drinkability. I think Budweiser has more drinkability than Bud Light because Bud Light's a little more carbonated. Budweiser is down a little more smooth.
Yes.
So I think Budweiser has more drinkability than Bud Light. This is my 2 cents.
That's good. You made some good comments, and Brandon said I can't even read it.
12 cans of Coors before this, so I rambled.
Nice one.
Jay is so crackly.
Hey, I drank 32 of Old English before the video, so I'm a little.
Yeah, you're a little broken up tonight on the old Google Plus here.
I'm sorry if I sound crackly. I mean, you know, I don't know what's going on.
Not horrible, but just a little bit sounding that way.
Damn internet. All right, Nate, Paul, Jeff, whoever.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of lighter beers, and for me, this is a light beer for me.
This way.
But you know, for those times when you're not maybe you're not feeling like 100% or something like that, you're not feeling bad enough not to drink though. You could go out and have one of these, and it wouldn't like weigh you down with like a full meal or something like that. It would be like kind of comfortable. So.
Yeah, I agree. I like the word comfortable. What you said, Paul and Jeff.
There you go.
I'll say do yourself a favor and find your local establishment that serves it on tap and go get you a big 22 glass of it. Nothing better than that.
Big old mug.
And you know, he hit it right on the head. This is a very hard beer to find on tap anywhere.
Yeah, because Bud Light has eclipsed it. You know, Bud Light.
Yeah, they just do Bud Light now. Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light.
Yeah.
The population.
Budweiser dropped to number 3. It used to be number 1. But I did some studies on that. What happened was that Budweiser didn't really become unpopular. What happened was so many millions of people switched to Bud Light. So if you count Budweiser and Bud Light as a single brand, as like one beer, 2 different versions of one beer. You know what the sales were for Budweiser and Bud Light last year? $8 billion. And that's only the United States.
And that's those 2 single beers.
It's unbelievable. It makes up like 52. It's over 50% of the beer market.
Those 2 beers.
Those 2 beers. Most Americans on a daily basis drink Budweiser or Bud Light. I am not kidding you. It is unbelievable.
Okay. Oh, I believe it. I believe it for sure.
Anyway, Jeff, any closing thoughts, Jeff?
Drink malt liquor instead.
You know what? I'm going to take out a gun and load it just because he said that.
Oh, no, damn.
There's some sensitive people watching.
I'm not threatening anybody, my friends. I'm just saying.
He just has a gun and he has ammo.
People don't know this is a reference, by the way. So let's.
Don't say it. Like Goodfellas, don't say it. Don't say it.
Wow.
Do they have Danish? Anyway, Paul knows what I'm talking about.
I know Maury.
You know Maury. He's always talking. No one listens to him.
Talks a lot.
Anyway, well, I think we kind of like covered the bases, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I think we've degraded into something else now.
I think.
Hey, what do you think of the advertisement that Budweiser does?
Really, I like it. And this is what
Advertisement is interesting or dull and.
well, I think it's good. It had gotten off track for a good while because what happened was August-Busch the 4th, he took over advertising for Budweiser in 1988 or 89, and he started making all those what I call funny animal commercials.
Yeah.
It sort of undermined the brand, and one got booted out of the company in 2008. They went back to their old traditional classy commercials, you know, the more serious commercials. And it seems like it's gotten its and this is what I call it. I say Budweiser has swagger. That's why I like this brand, because it has swagger, which is something that a lot of the beer snobs just hate. They hate swagger. You know, they like cute. They like insipid. They don't like swagger, but I don't mind. I like a beer with swagger, and the Budweiser brand has a lot of it. And they're like, they just have a good attitude about it. They're very confident.
I really appreciate all the money they donate. They attribute to sports.
Oh yeah.
I love when I was at the brewery, they were printing out the Daytona 500 cans. I was at the Jacksonville brewery, and even with Major League Baseball, they do the customized or custom Major League Baseball opening day cans. I mean, I really appreciate those. I mean, they're some of the sweetest looking cans you can find.
Oh man, did y'all see that new 22 ounce? I think it's 22 ounce aluminum all red Budweiser can.
No.
Hey, do you remember these cans, Jay, that came out a couple of years ago, the bow tie cans?
Yep.
This
Sure.
one.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were only 11 ounces.
Yep, 11.3 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna hear something funny. When I was racing this weekend in Maryland, and this guy was drinking a little skinny Budweiser can. I was like, "What size can is that?" He's like, "It's a 10 ounce." He was a truck driver and drives all over the country. He said only in Southern Maryland he's ever seen a 10 ounce Budweiser can.
Oh no, wait. If you go to the stores around here, they've got 8 ounce cans. They've got 10 ounce cans.
Tonight.
They've got 12 ounce cans. They've got 25 ounce cans. They've got 40 ounce bottles, 32 ounce bottles, 12 ounce bottles. Oh yeah, they've got a whole. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Can you get Budweiser in little pony bottles?
Yeah,
No.
8 ounce bottles, 8 ounce cans. Oh, not the bottles, but the little 8 ounce cans. Yeah.
Yeah, but not pony balls.
You can drink that in 2 gulps.
You can drink that one go. One go.
Come on, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later.
Paul, thank you for participating, and don't forget next Miller Genuine Draft, a definite dying brand.
Miller
Yeah.
Genuine Draft.
All right.
Yeah, Miller Genuine Draft. That beer might be discontinued before this present video is over.
All right. Well, I better go get some today then.
Good luck. You might have help. Okay, well, anyway, it was fun. 32 ounces of Budweiser. Definitely, I'm having trouble saying the letter S.
Wait.
My forehead is hot. But it's not as bad as when I drank the 2 bottles in a row of Fuller's Vintage Ale.
That stuff is good.
8%, 8.5%. Yeah, it was good, all right. But
It was good, alright. It treated him good.
I ever tried
watch the
Oh my
video.
god, get that 151 out of here. Get that. Oh, get
my
that.
friend is from here to here.
Oh my god, get that 151 out of here. I can't even
Anyway,
look, I
well,
can't even look at the number 151 without puking.
all right. Well, anyway, we've got a lot of exciting sports coming up, and some of the sports is on right now, like the World Series, Game 7.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching this video production, and thanks everybody for participating. It was so much fun.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a good one, guys.
Now.
See you guys. I'll see you guys later.